think I paused it, sorry. On the bumper, that's that area that you see from underneath. I'm standing about 5 feet behind the car and you can't really see it. You know, you can see the bumper is super straight, but there's some pitting and stuff like that in it. This is the spot where I was telling you on this piece where it's kind of gray. This is the spot that's on the side, on the passenger side that I mentioned to you. We'll continue on. And then up here by the antenna, you can see the antenna part that's folded over, and then there's a, you can tell that's some old body work also. Let's see, under the hood there's really nothing nothing special. This is on the nose of the car. Zoom back, you can see where it's at in proportion to the rest of the car. You can see the grill is all in really nice shape. I'm going to show you what I did with this fuel pump. I put this fuel pump mounted right here, and I just have it in line with the stock fuel line. And what was happening is it would sit for over the weekend, or if it was cold, you know, real cold overnight, I was having a hard time getting it started. And so I put that on there and I really haven't had any issues with it since. So I'm going to go ahead and start it now and show you what I do. And then if it does give me a problem, then I'll show you what I did before. Make sure it's in neutral. This is the telescopic wheel. You can pull that out and then just spin the collar and that locks it in place. Okay, so what I do is I press the gas pedal just a couple times and it kind of sets the choke. And then right underneath here is a toggle switch that you can pull towards you, and that will turn the fuel pump on once the key's on. If the key gets turned off, it won't go on, so you can't accidentally leave it on. I'm just going to leave it off and see how it does. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the key on. And turn that fuel pump on for a second. Okay, I'll show you what I would do if I'd run into this situation before, is make sure that the choke is fully closed. Right here is the choke, and I just pushed it all the way up so that it's fully closed, and I think that should probably be enough, and it should just can right off. Sure those are closed. think what I did is I turned the fuel pump on and I really didn't need to, and I think I kind of flooded it. Anyway, that's what I'd have to do occasionally, is take the carburetor off and just make sure the choke plates were closed all the way. And I really haven't had an issue with it since I put that fuel pump on. But it hasn't been as cold as it was either. I'm gonna turn the fuel pump off now. And oh, I guess I didn't have the camera at the back, but it's not smoking. That's not smoke as in oil smoke, it's smoke as in the condensation and stuff being cold. The engine, even when it's cold, is real responsive. Sounds like an old car should. Since I've got it sitting here, I'll open up the trunk for you as well. It's got some old original stuff on the back panel there for the jack. You know, underneath there's the original floor. I mean, it's all super solid. You can tell the original overspray from the factory up in there. Spare tire. And that's some of the factory undercoating. It looks like it's came off over the years, but it's dome light here does not work. Okay, I think now what I'll do is I'll show you those hooks. This is the mechanism that clamps the roof on, and the soft top ones look, you know, very similar to that, but they're just a little bit different. And what I'll do is get the top pulled off when my guy that works for me gets here. He can help me take it off, and then this one you just turn it 90 degrees and it can lift straight up, and that locks it. There's also one here. This works just like the one in the front, and then on the driver's side there's one there, and then of course the back one. So there's 6 overall. Let's see, go ahead and start it back up. That's the factory tack. It's too bright in here, but the dash lights work and everything. Gas gauge works. It's slowly starting to come up. It's got a set of auxiliary Stewart Warner gauges down here. Car, you know, usually idles around 35 pounds or so oil pressure. When you give it gas, the oil pressure goes up. It's probably around 50 or so there. That water temperature gauge works. The one that is up in the instrument panel is not hooked up. I don't know if they unhooked it to hook up the aftermarket one or not, but nonetheless, the bottom one does work. Emergency brake, that works, and it holds the car. There's the glove box. this is that knob I was telling you about that has something to do with the speaker, but really it's inoperable. So I think that's probably it. I'll get it pulled on the rack here after a little while, and I'll take some pictures underneath the car, or video underneath the car, and where it was leaking oil and that kind of thing, and I'll point that stuff out to you. So, alrighty.